Hey everybody, how are you? I'm just finishing up a workshop today and it's time for our Virgo full moon, right? So, happy Virgo full moon. Yeah, we're there. Virgo is about the process. It's so interesting that this weekend I had Sarah and Zion in my office and they were talking about trusting the process, trusting the process, trusting the process. And we walked outside, right? It was the Botanica's anniversary. Happy anniversary, my sweet, sweet space. But anyway, it was the Botanica anniversary. And we walked outside and someone had on a shirt that said, trust the process. And we were all like, enough, we're done. We're done. We have nothing further to say. And so with this full moon, that's exactly what I want to tell you. I want to tell you that it's time to trust the process, that this is the time that we really look at how our thoughts and our judgments and our self-criticism and our self-doubt really interferes with the process. The prayer, I said to you last week, we've already prayed. We've done the praying. We've been praying. Now, how do we get in the way of the answer? The way that we get in the way of the answer is not trusting the process, is not to trust your teachers, it's not to trust your guides, it's not to trust your ancestors, that everything is working out to your greatest good. And oftentimes we get in the way of that happening when we start stepping in and thinking that we know how the process should go. We know how much the loan should be. We know how much the job should pay. We know what the job is. We know what the direction of the medicine should be. We trust the process. Virgo is the sign of processing, and that is why Virgo rules your nerves and it rules your stomach. The nerves in your stomach, right? So your digestive system right now is really big with this full moon that we're happening here in Virgo. So Virgo is the breaking down of those thoughts and really looking at, like, what I'm trying to also say to you is find joy in the journey. Like, look at each step of this journey in this detailed way of saying, ancestor, thank you. Thank you for this redirection. Thank you for this new thought. Thank you for this thing coming up. I trust you. I'm willing to listen. A huge part of prayer is creating the space to receive it. Let me say that. A huge part of prayer is creating the space to receive it. So with this Virgo full moon, let us meticulously create a space to receive the prayer with an eye on it, like Virgo does, to detail. Create the space to receive. People say to me, like, I'm looking for a partner, but they have no space for the partner in their home. They have no space for the partner in their room. They all, it's all about them in their room. It's all, which I'm also guilty of, right? All the clothes, is in every drawer, hung everywhere. It's all about you. It is wonderful. But if you are trying to receive the energy of a partner, I would say to you, it is possibly time to physically create space for that to happen. So let's create spaces for our prayers to be answered so that there's a way. And no one can do this better than a Virgo. They're about organizing. So on this Virgo full moon, organize yourself and be a part of this process that is happening, and trust the process. This moon is trine Pluto, which leads me to, this is about knowing how to use your power and not to manipulate situations with your power, and not to lord yourself, like bully yourself through things, and not to be bullied, knowing how to stand in your power and understanding that your thought and the way you learn to trust is all related to this base chakra. So if we are finding that we can't even trust ourselves, it's going to be really hard to trust spirit, right? So the energy that's related to this base chakra is around trust, the misuse and the proper use of power, and allowing yourself to stand in it, right? And to feel secure. It's about security also. When we work with this Pluto kind of energy trining this moon, but the trine is a beautiful, it's a beautiful contact that it's making to the moon. So what this says is learning how to trust yourself and feeling secure in what you want and feeling secure in what you've placed at the feet of your ancestors, what you've placed, what you've asked spirit for, and now trusting that they're working it all out for you, and to enjoy the process as you go through it so that you can learn something, that you can find joy in the next step, so that you can offer gratitude at each step along the way, is what this full moon is about. And this lack of trust, or this distrust of self that Pluto might be bringing up for you, use some of the medicines, right, to help you sink deeper into the self and to trust and feel secure in the guidance that's coming for you. So the herbs that I'm working with, mint, is a beautiful digestive, but it also offers incredible clarity to know what it is that you want. I love using the berries. So elderberries is really great for protection through this time, but also any transformation, because this energy of Pluto is like, what do we need to transform in our life? So, and for me, it's that self-doubt and the self-talk and the self-judgment and the judgment from other people and the manipulation from other people. Like, so what is it that needs to be transformed and freed so that you can be in a state of trust, that you can really feel this connection to your ancestors? What needs to be transformed? Elderflowers, elderberries talk about an ease in transform, a sweetness in transformation. With the elderberries there, red clover. We can't talk about this trine without talking about, with Pluto here, I'm going to pay attention to our sexual health. But what I love about red clover, it is this beautiful blood cleanser and a remediator of soil. It really remediates the soil, removing toxins to bring in new growth. And what this speaks of to me is the remediation that needs to happen in our womb space, but also this remediation that needs to happen with truth and truth telling and speaking to yourself in a beautiful way and honoring your affirmations of yourself and getting out of your head, like that remediation of thought, like cleansing up all the things that are toxic to our thinking, like removing them out of here. That's the red clover. And so super important. I've added oregano in with the plants that I'm recommended for this journey because it brings so much joy. It brings so much joy. And I listed that yesterday on my Instagram, why I'm choosing to work with these plants. And of course, red raspberry. We can't have Pluto here without talking about over the dominance of power in our life and how it affects our inability to trust ourselves, right? So, and red raspberry is a beautiful herb for regulating your menses, but it also regulates how much of this red vital, I was teaching about doctrine of the signatures, but how much of this red vital energy, it just leaks out of us. So the red vital energy is our blood. It is our power. So stepping into your power could mean a deep connection to using red raspberry as a toner or creating efficacy in us over bleeding or over giving our power away and really holding on to the power of trust for yourself. I find that that's the greatest thing when we talk about trust is the trust of self before we can start to trust our ancestors, trust the spirits, trust me talking to you, all of this. So this full moon is really about removing the self-sabotage, trusting yourself and regulating regulating the power, the way that we give away your power. So standing in the power of self-trust. So thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you later.